that, and then I really only had 2 drinks, and I don't know if it was that or maybe the food, because the restaurant, realistically, not to shit on the restaurant, but it wasn't the best.
It's
I've had better.
possible
I've
it
had
was the
worse.
restaurant.
It was okay. That's all I could say. Um, and then that morning, I like woke up with this headache. So I had like this slight kind of hangover, and then pretty much for the day, my head was just kind of off. Have you had those hangovers before? Not necessarily just the headache. It's just you just feel off. Like you feel like you're stuffed a bit, but it's just almost like a sinus headache kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
It's not fun, I will tell you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you know, I've certainly I don't know if it's us just getting older or what it is, but I've
Maybe
had that feeling where just you don't have that much to drink, but for whatever freaking reason, you feel like garbage
you really do.
regardless the next day. You just feel more tired. You're like, oh God, I just want to go back to bed, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to do anything that day. You're down for the count, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. And
It's
what's
like,
even worse for
nope,
me
I'm
is
out.
that I kind of have not really vertigo, but I've had some off balance issue. That's kind of just an
I
inherited kind of trait.
remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, because I had
I'm not
one.
gonna lie. I
I'll
swear
go to that.
you've
I'll go
got
to
to be
that
the.
story when I'm done telling my Easter stuff. But I do have a story
I swear,
there.
dude, you got to be the youngest person ever to have vertigo. More than
That's an
once,
inherit.
too.
Yeah, that's an inherited trait from my parents. They have kind of off balance kind of issues too. Um,
Well, that's not fun.
no, but it's just what you deal with. So at times my head
Part
wears
of
me
being a
off a bit.
Whitmer.
Yep. If you want to be me, that's what it's like. Unfortunately for Jeff, it's a little
Oh,
worse with his concussions and all that. But
yeah.
it's
So
just a little something I have to deal with.
you don't want to be a
Although I
Jeffrey.
do I
It's
do
not.
wonder if that is partially to deal with it too. Because I did have because the one because we had that conversation too where the one backyard football game we had where Babs tackled me and my glasses
I
went
know
flying
what
and I
play you're
yeah
referring to.
and I whiplashed. That was not the only time that happened. I that's happened at least 3 or 4 times. The worst
Yikes.
one, realistically, that I had was when I don't know. I know I've told you this before, and Brian. I don't know if I said it on this podcast, but
You. I'm trying to remember which one
Matt
this
and I
is.
were doing like
Oh
LYA, like
yeah.
soccer, so like a youth soccer or high school. Think like
Yeah.
sophomore year it
It
was.
was during high school.
I think we were both in sophomore year of high school. And
Gotcha.
Matt and I, the first year we did it, we were on the same team.
Mhm.
The next year we were on separate teams.
Oh
And this
no.
game in particular, we were facing each other. I I realized in that season I'm actually not that terrible as a goalie for soccer in terms of that league.
There you
I
go.
mean, I never played JV baseball or anything, but you don't see me play for the
Right.
Mets.
Just calling it like you see it.
Uh-huh. I tried to make that reference to The Office, but that's the best I could come up
Yeah.
with. It was baseball, soccer,
I
yeah.
got it. I got
Mhm.
it. I got it. Don't
But
worry. Don't worry.
at one point,
Got that.
Matt and I were because the ball was coming towards the net, and it was one of those moments where it's like I kind of hesitated too long to come out and try to play the ball. Matt was charging at the
Yeah.
same time. I kicked it in time. Matt ran into me, and I just kind of fall back. My head hits the ground. My glasses go flying,
Oh.
and then I just have this headache. I gotta, but I just kind of stayed in the game. So
Yeah,
it's one, and
that's
then like a couple
that's
days
not a move.
after, I just kept kind of getting a headache. So it's one of those things like think I may have had like a minor, but an undiagnosed concussion. Yeah,
Slight undiagnosed concussion.
yeah. I stayed in
Absolutely.
the
Yeah,
game. That game with the
that's
penalty kicks. Matt won. He
gee, I
scored
wonder
against. Yeah, he
why.
scored against me in penalty kicks.
Well, gee, I wonder why you might have had a slight concussion. And
Hey, I
let's be
saved a
honest,
couple goals and just penalty kicks.
hey,
Okay.
that's impressive.
Yeah.
That is impressive. We'll give you that. But I'm
Because
saying
even
it's
like a
not that
couple days later,
surprising.
because that was still when I was doing track. I think that was like the
Yeah,
last year of
I
actually.
forgot you did
Yeah,
that.
it was like my last year of doing track, and realistically, I was only doing that because
Yeah, no, I
Babs. The only
never
reason why I did that is because Babs, Tommy, and Matt were doing it. That's really why I was doing
stop.
it.
For you said that's literally the
Yeah,
only reason why you did
pretty
that.
much. Yeah.
Hey, at least they didn't convince me. That would have been brutal. It's actually funny because um because I did baseball and tennis growing up, and you would have imagined like, oh yeah, like I'll be fine at something. Like, nope, not even close. Like
I'm not
running
great
like
at running
long
either. Yeah. The
yeah,
reason why I quit too is because like I was in my like last year and I was like, okay, I know I'm not gonna come anywhere near medaling or anything. I was like, I'm just done. I'm just gonna focus.
yeah.
I'm done kind of doing sports and that kind of stuff and just kind of focus on life
Hey,
after
good
high
for you
school and
though.
all that.
Yeah.
So and try to get
Look
some
at you
money.
talk. Look at you talking as if like you're just being and it's only high school. I'm gonna focus on life after high school.
Clearly, it hasn't worked out too well. So I graduated college, but
It's just the way you put it was just really funny to me. I don't know why.
but
It
that
just
was too. I'll
was.
be honest. That was in that league and everything, and any Pee Wee soccer I've played. That was one of the best games. That game I had played against Matt. That was one of the best. And
Yeah.
realistically, to me, it's because I was playing Matt. That's why. Because there was that little added thing. I think it was also like playoff implications, stuff like that. But
There
like
you go.
there was just
Yeah.
that little thing. There's like that for some reason that game was just fun for me. Like the first
Yeah.
half of the game
Well,
was actually
what
like
I'm curious now, what was your best like sporting moment ever?
probably that soccer game playing in net. Outside of that, when I was younger, when I played lacrosse, I had some
Mhm.
moments there here and there. Baseball I was terrible at. I'll say this:
I
I
gotcha.
got a couple. I could get a couple walks just because it would never swing. But outside of that,
Right.
I didn't mind catching until people
Mhm.
started throwing heavier. I was like, I can't do this anymore
Yeah.
because it hurts to
I had
catch.
I had the worst experience catching. When I was younger, we had and
Went on
this
another
is coming
tangent, by
from
the way.
what's up?
We went on another tangent, by the way.
Oh, I know. Whatever. Who cares? We went from I don't even know how we got here, but we're just gonna leave it at that. But
My vertigo. I
I
went from a vertigo, the soccer, to our youth sports.
what the hell? That's amazing. Um,
Neck
but
the
anyway,
dots,
so
people.
no, yes, follow along.
Mhm.
How are you guys not following along? Come on, it's easy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Random
but
tangent,
no,
random
so
tangent. We find something to talk about. Offers reference here and there. That's our podcast.
welcome. But no, so for me for catching, it was a brutal time
Mhm.
because there was only one time I was catcher because our usual catcher, I guess, had to leave early or something like that. For what is it? And I was like 6 or so. For whatever reason, my coach thought it'd be a good idea to put me a catcher. I wasn't doing great. I wasn't doing terrible. But then there was one pop fly went straight up, and I mean, like just the kid hit it just straight up. Didn't know where it was. I kept looking, landed right behind my head. I did one of these and ducked, and I didn't like it. I was like, you know what, catcher's not for me. But for me, I've had a lot of surprisingly really good baseball moments. Um, I've had pitching wise, I've had a couple complete games. One of my best ever performances. I had a complete. I had a. I before because I guess I don't know if my coach was worried about my arm or not, but I go before I got pulled. I had a two hitter going. So that was pretty good. And then there was a couple. There was a double play I made from center field where I caught the ball and I threw the ball and tagged the guy out. I got the guy tagged out first, and then I made in the same weekend center field at the Lineville Fields. We're playing Lineville A the Saturday and Sunday. We're playing Lineville B. The one day line kind of like a line drive coming this way towards my right, and I did a full line. Because I was like, all right, the only way I'm getting this ball is if I dive. I'm like, let's just go for it. Why not? And before I know it, just doing a full on bodies completely in midair, full on Superman dive, catch on the backhand like this, and then just kind of like roll, do like some kind of somersault and just stand up and I was like, I got it. The very next day against line field B, going in center field again, but going towards right field. The same play. I do a dive and I catch the ball. I'm just like, I don't know how I'm doing this. I did it again. And then, but my all-time best play I've ever made, a triple play.
The rare triple play.
Because the rare triple play. We were losing. We lost badly, but I had the triple play.
Well,
I was at first
more
base.
Important, triple play or losing? I mean,
triple play, obviously. First.
What are people going to remember? The score or that play?
First and second. I was at there was runners on first and second. I was at first fielding, and I jump up at first base. I catch the ball. I tag the runner and throw it to second. And that was one of the coolest moments I'll ever have for sports.
Yeah, almost like I don't want to mention him, but almost like a Freddie Freeman.
Damn it, Freddie.
He was the first one I could think of, and honestly, I think he might be the best first baseman in baseball. Vlad Guerrero is probably going to be the next best when he fully kind of develops.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Anyway, let's go.
Wait, sorry. I have one more thing. It's not even in Little League or anything like that. It was I don't know if this counts or not, but
I love the little eye roll. I don't know if this counts or not.
But what in like high school, like early high school, Mitch and I and Matt occasionally would like play hockey, like roller hockey in our basement. Like
nice.
we'd have the net down the basement and everything.
Yeah.
I'd strap on goalie pads, or Mitch would, or one of us would.
Oh, that's awesome.
Kind of shoot on us. We'd use tennis puck or tennis puck. Wow, a tennis ball. We'd use a tennis ball,
I love
obviously.
The tennis puck.
Because
I love the tennis puck.
But I did have one almost like a Vasilevsky, Bobrovsky kind of moment where I just stuck out my leg in time and I just stopped it from going in because I kind of went side to side. It just kind of stuck.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I was in net and it was with Mitch and Matt were against me, obviously. And I think Mitch had it and he like threw it like almost like if it was a 2-on-none or 2-on-1. Mitch threw it to Matt and I just got there in time to get my leg there in time to kick it out.
Dude, that's awesome.
I did have a nice glove save at one point
awesome.
too.
Yeah. Oh, you know